What's good, everyone? I see a lot of crowd has went back. I'm assuming everybody is a bit hungry and trying to relax from all these keynotes, panel. So this time around, I'm gonna keep it a bit short and at the same time a bit interesting for everyone. Let's just quickly go ahead firstly with the introduction of our panel.
The main part is how you get Web2 creators to see the value of being in a Web3 ecosystem. And I think once we solve that problem, it will become mainstream.
We need to be asking a question, how's my project going to compete with the distribution to billions of people that Twitch and TikTok have? And I think that majority of founders who are in the creator economy cannot answer that question.
I believe we are now transitioning from the Web 2 that you try to catch attention to the Web 3 that you can monetize ownership.
I would love to have everyone see in Web3 chase any trend that you have, chase any hype that you have, but you still need to have the core values to keep the user retention.
Gaming is often called the backbone of creator economy. Do you think it's the leading way? It's leading way because of the technology culture, or simply because gaming is fun? So, hola Alvaro, could you please introduce yourself in just one word and maybe say something interesting about you?
Well, my name is Alvaro. I would say not the typical crypto guy because my background is science, biology. I think that defines me a lot.
All right, very nice. Then let's go to Maryna. Could you please introduce yourself and say something interesting about you?
Hi everyone, I'm Maryna, I'm the CEO of LKI. An interesting fact about me is that I used to be a professional ballerina before going into crypto. And an interesting fact about us as a company is in 2016, there were 3 ICOs. We managed 2 of them. If you really want to know the name, you'll have to find me.
Oh, that's super interesting. I will find you later on after the panel. All right. Shawn, could you please introduce yourself? Say something interesting about you.
I'm Shawn. I'm a general partner at Trive Digital. We're a early stage Web3 and AI VC. We invest globally. An interesting fact about me is that I'm also building a language learning app that teaches languages to people via AI boyfriends and girlfriends. Thanks.
Oh, that sounds super interesting. I'm sure a lot of guys would be using that. All right. Xin Chao, Astrid, could you please introduce yourself and say something interesting about you?
Hello everyone, I'm Astrid. I'm the BD manager of Bullbit. I joined the market since 2018, and most of the time I do the layer one, so I know how the psychology of the ecosystem project would work. Our booth is just over there. We are the honorably the strategic partner of this event, so hope anyone can enjoy the panel discussion and also can go visit our booth after this panel discussion. Yes.
All right. So let me just quickly introduce myself as well. I am Akshay. I'm the spot director for xt.com. We're one of the top centralized exchanges. One thing interesting about me is that I'm super tired right now because been traveling all the year for almost all the events. All right. So let's go with Alvaro for the first question itself. If you had to describe today's creator economy in one word or in gaming reference, what would it be?
I would use the word cooperative. We are moving forward from one vertical, from the companies create the game, you get the players, and you get the people watching the players, to a circular economy where everybody is winning. We have the platforms create the game, players contribute with the time, they create content themselves, and then the fan consume it and also monetize it. So I would use that word.
Perfect. Perfect. And Maryna, what do you think? What is that one word that you describe the creator economy? It can be in the gaming reference as well.
I won't use one word, I'll say one sentence. Everyone pretends that they want to be in the coolest alliance, but realistically, it's one man for themselves.
All right, that was super cool. Now, Shawn, why don't you go ahead?
So I think one word and also a gaming reference would be OP. So OP means overpowered, right? And I think creators today wield a lot of power, right? So they weigh they wield more power than even politicians or like leaders in this world. And I think the influence has a very strong effect on people whether or not they know what they're being influenced to do, right? And I think that to me is one of the key factors as to why this creator economy is going to be such a big thing in the future. Yeah.
Actually, I strongly believe in that. I recently saw one video on, I think, TikTok or somewhere, whereas an influencer got his temple cleaned up by his followers. So apparently, the government was not
Exactly. Yeah.
So this is sort of the power or influence that one can have, and actually, it can be used for a lot of good things. Now,
Right.
Astrid, what do you think? What's the one word that you describe?
I would not describe. I would love to say the wish for the gaming economy right now. Everyone wins because in the past era, only the centralized server win and only the owner wins. And with the pyramid scheme, we always lost. So only the owner win, we always lost. So I want to speak about the dream of everyone. We need to open a playground so that everyone can be immersed in this open world and everyone can win from this.
All right, interesting. Let's move to the main questions that I am sure a lot of audience would have, and this is what we got from the poll that we did before the panel. So, gaming is often called the backbone of creator economy. Do you think it's the leading way? It's leading way because of the technology culture, or simply because gaming is fun? What do you think, Alvaro?
Well, I think it's everything because, first of all, I think my own generation, I'm quite old guy, we still have gaming like for a minority. But reality is like, I think it's 4 billion people in the planet right now playing. And it's like, it's moving like a 100 something, I'm not going to be exact, but 140 billions profit per year. So it's more than the music and the movie industry together. They make more money than Hollywood. And I'm sure everybody think, no, Hollywood is the best. So definitely it's a mainstream. Also, I think it's fun. I mean, who here didn't play a game when they were waiting for a bus or in a queue? Sorry, what was the third word?
So, do you think it's the leading way because it's technology culture, or simply fun?
And technology. Well, we are now seeing how the monetization is happening in games. I'm sure all of you play Hamster Combat. All of you were seeding carrots for pixels. My summer was gone just making carrots for pixels with the airdrop. So yeah, monetization is there, technology is here. So yeah, I would say the three factors count.
All right. What was your favorite game while you were growing up?
If you ask me, the game I spend most time playing in blockchain, pixels. Pixels ruined my summer.
And before Pixel?
I'm an old guy. I'm into the Monkey Island and all these old school games. Doom, quite a pretty old guy, but yeah. I'm more into storytelling games, which I miss nowadays. I don't think there are that many.
Perfect. All right, Maryna, what do you so? Shall I repeat the question or you know? All right, I'm gonna. Yeah, please go ahead.
I think there are a couple of factors that go into play. So on the one hand, if you want the project to succeed, you need to have a good product first. And majority of projects launch with the promise of a token to make investors happy, and they only have the speculative hype behind it. gaming is not linked into any cycle. People always wanted to play games and people will always want to play games. Whether they get paid for it or not is a secondary issue. The first issue is whether the game itself is high quality. So I'd say the reason that gaming is leading the creator economy is because it is inherently good for the user. And the games that will continue winning are not the ones who have the best tokenomics or the best farming programs, but actually the ones that are the funniest to play and that have the retention past 30 days. So right now it's a non-paid promotion, but I'm playing Whiteout Survival, and it is a very good game, and you can...
The one with all the ads, right? There are so many ads everywhere.
But it works, okay? It works. So you can play it in portrait mode, and guys, they nailed something that many Web3 games up till now didn't. We have a couple of clients in gaming. Pixelverse was our client, for example, and something that they did very well, they figured out a way for people to keep playing after they logged in, because usually what ends up happening, you give a clickbait promotion, people sign up, and then they drop immediately. So that sucks. And something that many Web2 games are very good at, they have the customer retention going, and they have the reason for people to keep playing. So to answer your question, I think it's the culture. The element of us going back to being kids and not having to deal with our jobs and all of the tiring things and just having a little escape route. And that is why gaming has been and will be in Web3, regardless of where the narrative takes you.
I truly believe in that. And I'm saying it because of the experience. I think most of the very good friends that I have made, apart from Web3, are through the games that I used to play. So PUBG Mobile was one of them. Counter-Strike was one of them. So that is how I made genuine and really good friends outside Web3, outside of my work. Shawn, what do you think about this?
I think gaming will always be a very strong hook, right? If you look at the evolution of gaming over the past, 20, 30 years, right? Games used to be not very accessible. They used to be very technical. You need to spend a lot of time to get good at the game to be able to enjoy the game. Now, the explosion of the category of casual games and of course hyper casual games now means that gaming is actually accessible to everyone. And I think it's a very strong outlet for people to relieve themselves, right? Relieve the stress of the modern society that we live in, right? And I think this is a trend that is not going to go away, right? And I think, we saw the power of gaming the last cycle. Naturally, the mechanism was wrong, right? And I'm sure we'll get into that later. But eventually, I think gaming will come back, and it will come back stronger than ever before. So, yeah.
Interesting. Astrid, what do you think about this?
I wouldn't say any either of those three words. Either it's technology, either culture, either it's fun. I would say the word addiction. Yeah, addiction. Like for example, it wouldn't need to be so complicated like AAA games that needs the technology. Even we are also can be happy with the snack game. Yeah, I can enjoy GTA Vice City a lot. I enjoy it a lot. I also enjoy the snake game. I also enjoy the Chicken Galaxy. I also enjoy the alien shooter. I think the most important thing which is attractive for me is the game balance, which keep me playing and keep playing, and it's also enjoy with my friends. Like either it can have the PvE or PvP. Yeah. So like for example, Among Us, it triggers something about our emotion that we need to defeat someone else. And we need to find the truth. So I think that's all. It's always about the addiction. It's not about the culture or fun or anything else. Yes.
Okay, interesting. Let's move on to our next question. So, from Twitch to TikTok, creators are already monetizing. What unique opportunities does Web3 open up for creators and gamers that Web2 couldn't?
Me first, so
Of course.
well, I believe we are now transitioning from the Web 2 that you try to catch attention to the Web 3 that you can monetize ownership. And what I mean with ownership is like you can build your own identity, your whole communities, and then you can monetize them, transferring your ownerships, your NFTs, anything that you can create. We are having now some good examples. We have a Faircaster that is allowing these programs or apps into the same application. You don't need to go to the browser, fearing that somebody's gonna hack your wallet or scamming you. Everything is built inside. We have another good example is Sora with these smart contracts that they pay you forever as far as the people keep using your content. And yeah, we are starting to see a few good examples how to monetize now this attention, but converting it in ownership and making the people to having the feeling of they belong to you, to your community.
Interesting. And what do you think?
I'll flip this question a little bit. I think that the problem is not in creating new use cases. For the past 10, 15 years, Web3 has been all about, I'm going to come up with a project in a new category and who cares? Like realistically, we shouldn't be asking a question of what new use cases we need to come up that do not exist in TikTok or Twitch. We need to be asking a question, how's my project going to compete with the distribution to billions of people that Twitch and TikTok has? And I think that majority of founders who are in the creator economy cannot answer that question. So instead of us trying to coin a new model to create a new narrative, I think we need to go back to thinking about distribution and going into the fundamentals of how I'm going to be reaching my audience. Everyone wants to come up with this new innovative idea, something that's going to be a bright spark, but realistically, the businesses that are generating revenue, they can be boring, and we don't need to come up with new things. So I think I'll flip that question back to distribution.
Interesting. Shawn, what do you think about this?
Can you rephrase the question again?
Okay, for sure. So from Twitch to TikTok, creators are already monetizing. But at the same time, what unique opportunities do you think Web3 has opened up for the Web2 creators?
So I think I would say the main thing is control. I think we've talked about ownership, we've talked about monetization. There's also control. There is an ability to decide, in a sense, who gets to see your content and how you remain accessible to everyone when the platforms are not gating you, right? So now all the platforms, all the content that's on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, they're all under like centralized platforms that, in a sense, control who gets to see what, right? And people need to pay the platforms to get seen, to get heard, right? And I think these are kind of things that Web3 will be able to do that Web2 can't. And I think, the main part is how you get Web2 creators to see the value of being in a Web3 ecosystem. And I think once we solve that problem, it will become mainstream, right? And I think that's yeah.
Okay, interesting. And Astrid, what do you think about this?
I would tell from my personal experience and a concrete example. I once joined the team to build a game called My DeFi Pack. And one day, the traffic is so high and everyone, we got skyrocketing number of users. And suddenly the hacker bring the server away. So so that game is about the pet raising game. You feed the pet with the tree and something like that, and carrots and groceries, and the pet can go up. But then all of the pet would be back to the infant phase. And then all of the kind of the tree and everything was lost from your farm. But there is only one thing that you can still keep is the NFT. That's the beauty of the Web3. The hacker can bring all the server away. We need to build the server on from the beginning. But yeah, the user still can keep the NFT. So that call about the ownership of the asset that you own in every game and also in every metaverse. Yeah.
Interesting. Let's move on to the next question. So, Alvaro, play to earn caught at global attention, but still many argue that it wasn't sustainable. Is the real future of play to earn play and belong, or something entirely new?
That's a very good question, and I'm gonna start it with a question to the public. From all of you here, who is still playing hamster combat? Nobody. Any of you are playing? No. Why? After we try to monetize it, we forget about.
Yeah.
And until now has been, all these cases has been the same. We pray, we forget. That's why play to earn is not sustainable. I believe what is coming or what is should come is play to belong. And what I mean with belonging is you create a feeling of belonging, a community, a strong community, a strong identity. Identity is everything. It's your name, your image, but also your skills, your weapons, everything. Then when you have this loyal community with you and the next game come, you're gonna use your soulbound or anything token that you use with your identity to the new game, bringing your community and monetizing a game. So this is more sustainable because you can grow up on time, your communities.
All right. I think let's just simply ask the audience one more time. What games are they actually playing on Telegram, which is play to earn? Or is anyone actually still in the culture of doing that or no one? Audience, can you guys hear me? Way back in the booths. I know you're busy networking. I just quickly want show of hands of the people who are still playing play to earn games. Oh, there are. There are a few guys. And what about the guys all the way in the back? I think no one else. So kudos to you guys that you were still playing the games. Now, let's move to Maryna and the same question.
All of the supposedly new problems have a very simple psychological explanation. So when you were a kid, I think some of them were like my Slavic mom. My mom used to pay me to do chores. So I grow up, and some of the friends in the audience can testify to that, to be a very messy person. Because the more you pay a person to do something, the less intrinsic motivation they have. And the only sustainable retention, the only sustainable loyalty program that you can have for your product is not going to be based on incentives. It's not going to be based on farming. It is going to be based on a cult-like mentality. So if you really want your users to stick around, you need to build an MLM program for them. You need to give them a reason to relate to you and to get the needs met that they're not meeting elsewhere. Some of these needs can be being really liked or having lots of friends. This is how communities came around. But somewhere along the way, we lost the purpose of a community and it turned into GM went to GE, and why is my token not here yet? So if you really want to make sense of the play to earn and why it failed, at the first place, you need to understand that paying people only makes them stay until you keep paying them. And as soon as rewards fizzle out, so is your audience.
Well, by the way, guys, MLM is highly illegal. Don't do that. All right, Shawn, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, no, 100%, right? You know, I think play to earn was a massive capitalistic experiment. Insofar that, you know, you can get anyone to do anything they want as long as you pay them, right? In a sense, it was great for user acquisition, great for customer acquisition, and I think it's not all bad, right? There was learning that the market had to overcome with that model, and I think, you know, people started to move from play to earn to move to earn, sleep to earn, like do something to earn, right? And I think that there was this whole rise of these kind of projects. But I think, you know, in terms of play to earn, agree that completely unsustainable. It is bad because it incentivized a lot of people to create shitty games that, like, you know, people will play to earn the token or to earn, like, you know, something. But at the end of the day, when a token decreases in value, everyone's off, right? No one's going to play, like, you know, a bad game to earn nothing, right? I think the future will be, I think, as you mentioned, play to belong, play and earn, play to enjoy, right? We're moving back to a kind of Web 2 game kind of perspective where people want to not just play games to earn something, but to actually enjoy the experience of gaming, right? And I think in order for Web 3 gaming to mature, it has to actually improve to the level of Web2 games, where the gaming experience is still the core focus, right? And I think that's where we have to hit. Yeah. Thanks.
Perfect. Astrid, what do you think?
I think our speaker mentioned a lot about the tokenization and also the payment. I have another interesting idea. How about play to be like engaged with the reality? For example, right now we have a lot of world crises and world problems like COVID. Let's see if we create a game where everyone can have a solution for the COVID and find out what the reason is, because it's still a myth, right? So like everyone can chase that idea, and like we can create a guild. I bet that some country will create their own guild to have the players onto that, and the user and also the people have the demand for money. They also have the demand for fame and also to be recognized. So yeah, that's we are living in the internet and also in the very flat world. So whether or not we can bring the values, either it's fun, it's entertainment, it's money, or maybe it's fame and recognition. Yeah.
All right. So far, what I think is that for any product to work or any token to perform, community is a very important part of it. So the next question is community is the currency in Web3. How do you see fans shaping value creation in gaming? Are the audience, stakeholders, or co-creators? Let's start with Alvaro.
The concept I have in mind of where we are going is more like a stakeholders, in the way that if I own a piece of this player and this player keep evolving, getting better, monetizing, I might be able to get back the value I'm investing, because it's like a share. I bought the NFT for this price and now I can sell for that price. But it's not limited only to that, to put money and wait, because that's what we all do with the coins, basically. I think where we are heading now is to a co-creating. For example, I'm a player, I'm already a legend, and in this game we have to create like a land, like in pixels. If I have no time or no ideas, I can tell my fan base, hey guys, help me to build this land, this castle, whatever. And everybody who contributes, I will airdrop them some price. Can be from money to anything, but it can be monetized. And that's what I mean when I talk about play to belong. That's how you build a strong community that will keep in the game, improving the game, creating the game itself.
Okay, interesting. Maryna, what do you think?
I'd say either of the three is fine as long as the project is not using the fans as exit liquidity. If you are a co-creator, the main thing that you would realistically want is to go around to your friends and advertise the game and talk about the experience that we have. At least the way I operate, I make majority of my decisions based on social proof. So as far as users go, they can give you a revenue, but it will not be that sustainable if you count it single-handedly. But if you take the question of ambassadorship and promoting people, that would be much more important.
All right. I think we are very close to our closing time, and we'll close.
Yeah, no, I agree, right? Stakeholders, I have nothing to add.
Astrid, what do you think?
I think from audience is still the passive user. I want to mention something like fan, because fans are more like proactive to engage with the game themselves. So they can become the stakeholders, and then co-creators can be later on, if they create a lot and they can earn a lot, maybe they can become the co-founder, who knows. And I think that the sense of belonging and also sense of co-creating would be the next wave of the game. Yeah.
Perfect. Moving forward with I think the last question. Let's go to the future. Fast forward to 2030. What does the creator economy look like for you guys? And what roles will gaming play in shaping the future of value? So let's just go and answer it maybe in one line. Alvaro.
For me, the future is that ownership. Ownership and ownership. You are gonna monetize the ownership. I think that people should stop thinking, for whoever is making games now, stop thinking in making money or raise money. Focus on attention, focus on connections, get the right influencer, KOLs, companies, because this will leverage the image of your game and create the communities. It doesn't matter how much millions you put in. You need a good game and you need a strong communities that follow. So that for me is the future.
Perfect. Maryna.
I like how everyone is being PC with their answers. The future is the bad projects are gonna wash out because there is not enough capital to sustain them for another 5 years, and we will finally have apps with proper UX that do not glitch, and I can be proud to introduce to my Web2 friends and not have them think that I'm in some gray industry.
Perfect. Shawn.
I'm going to paint the ideal state of the picture. Yeah, ideally by 2030 we won't have to use Web3 anymore. It would just be the state of the internet. Yeah.
Astrid.
I would love to have like everyone stay in Web3, like chase any trend that you that you have, chase any hype that you have, but you still need to have the core values to keep the user retention. Because if you just keep chasing the high, then it will be gone in just in a few months. But you can also develop your skill and also your talents, and keep the user at their core value, and create their own playground so that every party can win. That's would be the future. Yeah.
Perfect. Just to end this with a very interesting question, I will just quickly ask you guys, who would you like to go on a lunch, dead or alive, in the entire world? Be it a creator, anyone in this world. Alvaro,
Sorry, can you repeat?
who would you like to go on a lunch, be it anyone, dead or alive?
Getting
Yeah. Anyone, it could be anyone. Any role model you look up to.
I'll go to lunch with you, Bill.
So let's do that.
That's funny. 1 year ago, they asked me similar, like, you can choose one person to be on lonely island with. Who will choose? And I didn't know what to answer. Yeah, I would say my dog.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Maryna.
I like that question. I would go on a lunch with my dog as well.
Shawn, you?
Yeah, it's still you, man.
Yeah, perfect. It's a date. Astrid.
Other would say they want to meet CZ or like Vitalik Buterin, but I want to meet Pavel Durov.
Nice.
Yeah, the CEO of Telegram, because he has a very secret life and I don't know what he's doing with the user privacy. Yeah.
Okay, if somebody asks me this question, I'd like to go on a lunch date with Satoshi Nakamoto.
Not me.
All right. With you. All right. On this note, I think let's end the panel and invite Prince over to the stage. Thank you, everyone.